All right, how's everybody doing? I'm back with Smash 101. This time we're going to be going over a sort of a concept that's become a lot more important recently, especially since Ultimate came out. For one reason in particular, and that's frame data. Now, frame data has sort of come to the forefront of Smash ever since the existence of UltimateFrameData.com, which is a fantastic resource, and you should check it out if you just want to get some numbers right now. But it's also important to be able to understand, what frame data is, what it means, and how we can take advantage of it. That's basically what we're going to be going over today. So what is frame data, just as a whole? Well, frame data, for most moves, goes over how long it takes for the move to whiff, how long it takes for the move to start, and how safe it is for the move to be on block. Or, alternatively, how plus you are on hit, which is, equally as valuable. If you go to UltimateFrameData.com, you can find two of those numbers. You can find startup, and you can find, you can find end lag too. So you can find startup, end lag, and safety on block. You cannot find plus on hit numbers, which is actually kind of important because that allows for certain setups that we'll talk about in a second. So let's just talk about Roy's down tilt right now. I know for a fact Roy's down tilt is 7 frames and it's -4 on block. What is that? How did I know that though? Let's say I just didn't have access to the internet and the only way I can upload this is by the willing suspension of disbelief. Well, let's figure it out. Let's figure out how we can find frame data. First thing we got to do, we got to set CPU behavior to control. This is important, and you should have another controller. I know you have another Joy-Con. You have to. Your Switch came with it. You're good. After setting it to control, we want to go to 1 frame speed. This is just I would hope that this is at least a little bit obvious. Yeah, I don't know how you were going to get it without, setting it to 1 frame. Unless you were going to do it the olden ways, which is recording it and then going frame by frame in the recording, which is just not worth doing. And then also we have to have our stale moves set to on. This is important for certain moves, not as important for others, but the staleness of moves does affect the frame advantage on hit and block and whatnot. And so it, makes a difference. So now that we've done that, let's find our numbers. The 2 numbers that we already know. We know about down tilt, startup, 7 frames. You're counting there. That takes 7 frames. And that's the easy part, Anyone can count to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's literally common sense. Finding advantage on shield, however, is maybe a little bit more difficult. And this is something that is applicable to all moves in Smash, is this particular strategy. So I have my second controller holding shield right now. My first controller is buffering a down tilt right now. He's going to do a down tilt. He's hit the Palu shield with the down tilt. Now I'm going to hold jump on both of these characters. Why? Because now I'm buffering the same speed option for both sides. For instance, for Palu, it will always take exactly, 1 frame to go into the jump squat animation because jumping out of shield doesn't have any lag. And for Roy, the first frame he will be actionable, he will also be able to jump. So we can see the exact difference in frames while using this particular strategy. So right now, Palu's holding jump and Roy's holding jump. There you go. That's the first frame of Palu's jump squat. That's frame 1. So now we have 2, 3, 4. On frame 4, Roy can now do his jump squat. That means it takes 4 frames from after the hit of the move to when the opponent is able to move to when Roy can move. There's a 4 frame gap. And that's -4 on shield. You can do this for every move in the game. Literally every single one. If it doesn't pop the shield, you can get your frame advantage. So, I understand it might be extremely interesting to figure out what Ganon's up tilt is on block. And honestly, I'd like to know too, but I think you'd have to go through some spirit garbage to actually figure it out. But because it pops the shield, you're not going to be able to know. Because, you just get a shield break. Now, the understanding frame disadvantage on block is important, and there's actually going to be a separate video going over frame advantage on block. But today we're actually going to be going over frame advantage on hit. So frame advantage on hit is a number, as we talked about before, you can't just get by looking up. It literally doesn't exist. At least I've tried to find it, and I can't find it for most, if any, character. So we have to find that on our own. And we can use basically the exact same strategy. So set to 1 frame, grab. We're going to use Roy's down throw as an example here. Roy's down throw obviously cannot be blocked, so it doesn't have any like on block frame disadvantage. But I'm buffering a down throw right now with Roy. And after I do the down throw, after I see the percentage numbers go on, I'm holding jump with both characters. Same way we did before with the down tilt. The only difference is Palutena's not in shield. She's actually just, flying around. And Roy is almost definitely going to be moving first. See, there we go. So Roy is in his first frame of movement. That's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6, that's 7, that's 8. It took 8 frames for Palu to move. That means we're +7. +7, not 8. 8 is when Palu could make make a decision in terms of picking an option. 7 was the last frame before she could actually do anything. This is important because it means you can't pick an 8-frame follow-up and have it be true on every character. For instance, Snake will be able to pull a grenade. Luigi will be able to down B because he has the invincible reversal. There's not a lot of frame 1 invincible options, but the ones that exist will be able to get out of that. But it does mean we can pick 7-frame options, and that will be a true follow-up. There is, however, one issue with that. The only 7-frame follow-up that Roy has is a buffered jab, which is actually a 5-frame follow-up. If you want it to be frame perfect with it, I believe you can actually get a sweet spot jab here. I don't know. I don't know if I can do it because that's like that's literally an unbufferable 2-frame window. It's actually extremely difficult, and it's honestly not worth doing because we're going to go over a couple other options we have out of that down throw. So just because we're +7 doesn't mean we can't do an 8-frame follow-up, at least not on most characters. Palutena is a character that doesn't have a 1-frame reversal, so we can do that. We can pick an 8-frame option and it'll be fine. So let's say, for example, the Palutena is mashing jump at a hit stun, as we saw before. As Roy, I'm going to pick an 8-frame follow-up, which is jump or instant short hop up air. Up air is 5 frames, short hop is a 3-frame jump squat. Altogether, that makes it frame 8. If I'm buffering that right now, and Palutena is buffering her jump button, I'll be able to hit Palu, or at least I should. Boosh, we got the hit. Notice how Palu kind of moved up a little bit? Like, all of a sudden, before we even really hit her, she sort of just teleported slightly upward. That's because she's been hit out of her jump. And now, mashing jump with Palu, like, not until she hits the ground, can she input any kind of jump. That's insane. Because that means you have the potential of taking away one of the single best, reversal options in the game, which is jumping out of hit stun. It's an extremely useful tool. If we take it away from Palu, then that means, the world is basically our oyster. We can do down throw, up air into like nair. That full hop nair is just gonna be a combo because again she lost her jump. And then we can get follow-ups from there. We can get we literally have access to almost anything. We could just, the creativity opens up. However, we do not know for certain if she's going to jump at a hit stun. So let's say Palu doesn't do that. Let's say she picks a different option. Going to do this down throw. And let's say Palu decides to, let's say she decides to air dodge, right? She's trying to air dodge away. We're going to pick that same 8-frame option with Roy. And here we are. There we go. Should be buffering it right now. And with Palu, I'm holding the shield button. We didn't see the startup. That's because air dodges take more than 1 frame. It's going to take a little while for Palu to be able to actually pick a defensive option. So that's a free hit. Obviously, she still has her jump, but it's still a free hit. It's unreactable whether or not she has her jump, and that's the part that sucks about it, but, that's the case. But we can do one better, even. We can go even further beyond than an 8-frame trap, especially against a character like Palutena. We can go to a 9-frame trap, actually, because she doesn't have a 2-frame reversal either. So let's grab Palu, and let's do this down throw, and let's see what happens when Palu is, again, buffering air dodge, and we do a 9-frame follow-up. This time, we're going to be doing instant jump nair instead of instant jump instead of instant jump up air. Nair is 6 frames, jump squat is 3. That makes it 9. So we're buffering that with Roy right now. Palutena is not DIing, by the way, so, actually buffering this is not going to be as easy because we have to, make sure we move forward with the Nair to actually catch DI, but we'll, see that. That's more easily applicable when you're only controlling one character, not two. But with Roy, I'm doing this Nair. Palutena is doing an air dodge, and she still got hit. And you know what happens when Roy lands a Nair. That's a full combo if you're, faster than I was right there. So what you're telling me is that off of a grab, I have the potential of getting a straight-up max damage combo. And the answer to that question is yes. That's exactly what I'm telling you. Because this 2-frame frame trap actually just works. However, there's one situation where that's not the case. So let's say I actually get this down throw again. And let's say Palu is feeling the way she was feeling before and tries to buffer jump at a hit stun. Well, with Roy, I'm buffering my Nair now. There we go. I'm going to drift forward while I'm doing it. Palutena got the jump out, but I still clipped her toes. So, no escape this time. However, there's one problem. Oh, wait. She actually got hit by both hits there. Most of the time, Palu won't get hit by both hits. So let's keep buffering jump. Yeah, see, okay. So if I'm not drifting forward, Palu will only get hit by the first hit. So you do have to have the frame perfect drift. And then you can get your follow-up. But all things considered, from what we've seen, that's a true combo. Down throw Nair on Palu is a actual true combo. You will basically see no Roys do that because I think a lot of Roys don't necessarily know that they can do that. But this is why understanding how plus you are after landing a combo starter matters, because most characters can't get out for the first 2 frames. Some characters can get out in the first 2, some characters can get out in the first 1. So knowing true follow-ups actually does matter, especially for, a character like Snake. You're going to want to be able to just go for the jab. You'll probably get a sweet spot jab because he's a heavy character. From sweet spot jab, you can go from there. But with Palu, who is a character, you would love to be able to get as much damage on her as possible, I guess is the best way to describe it. So, this Nair is greatly appreciated. And that's basically frame data. That's why frame data is important, and that's how you can understand it on an offensive level. When you're trying to push aggression and you get your hit, it's the best. That's how you can know exactly how plus you are. This also applies to things like jab. If you wanted to measure jab's frame data or down tilt's frame data on hit or F tilt or something, like if you really wanted to find that, you totally could. For instance, like finding F throw frame advantage is important because there are some Roy forward throw combos. They're particular and they only work on certain characters, but they exist. And yeah, I mean, that's basically it. I recommend you do this for whatever character you play. I also recommend you do this for any character you struggle against. Because if you know how plus a character, like say a Mario down throw or a Mario up throw, if you know what's true and what's not and what you can get out of, that's really important. Because it'll prevent you from picking extremely stupid options. So yeah. That's basically it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.